Welcome into Hermon Brothers Field for game number 2 of today's doubleheader between the visiting, now 5-6, Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks and your 6-6 Matsu Miners. This is Brad Walker. Alongside me is Connor Mills on the call for you today. The Miners getting game 1 just about over an hour ago, where the Miners won 5-4. They trailed early, giving up 4 runs in the second inning, but slowly but surely fought their way back as we saw the first home run of the season hit by Chugiak-Eagle, a 3-run shot. That really sparked the Miners' comeback. We'll go ahead and get you started with the Chinooks starting 9. Leading things off playing right is Bailey Collins, followed by the designated hitter Luke Van Dover and the third baseman Jordan Wharton. Cleaning things up is their first baseman Danny Dopp, followed by the shortstop Gregory Ozuna. And the man behind the plate, J. Paul Fullerton, batting 6th, followed by left fielder Jaron Largusa. And in the 8th spot is the second baseman Thomas Harper. And rounding things off is the center fielder Seth Bollinger. So Bailey Collins stands in from the left side of the plate. He is facing the Miners left-hander Josh Haley, who delivers a ball for pitch number 1 to start game number 2 between the Chinooks and Miners. Pitch 2 of game 2 misses low, bring the count to 2-0. So Josh Haley on the mound for the Miners. Done very well so far this year. Has one of the lowest ERAs in the league. His third pitch barely misses low. And Collins has worked his way into a 3-0 count. Haley working quickly to start this game. Delivers a nice fastball in for a strike. Sit at a 2-1 count. Haley's 2-1 is dribbled just foul behind home plate. Makes it a full count, 3-2. So Collins has already worked Haley full in the first at-bat of the game. Haley winds and fires and gets Collins to swing through for out number 1 of the game. Nice pitch from Josh Haley to get this thing going. And your defensive starters of today go as follows. From left to right, Bozetti at third, Swift at short, Denning playing second, Henson at first. In the outfield is Quiggle in left, Merritt in center, and over in right is Hunter Jump. And the man behind the plate today is Austin Pinarini. Man behind the plate in game 2, today's doubleheader. Van Dover lines one over to Swift, who makes the nice smooth throw over to first for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down so far for the Chinooks.
Now batting, third baseman number 20, Jordan Wharton.
So Josh Haley working quickly and already getting 2 quick outs to begin this ball game. That brings up the right-handed hitting Jordan Wharton to face Josh Haley. Haley, this is his 4th game appeared. And Wharton, hard ground ball over to Swift, who does the same as before to retire the side. So that was a quick top half of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Chinooks, and we're still scoreless. We'll have the bottom half of the first inning for you on Matsu Miner Radio, and we come right back.
Jeez, I felt like that sound fast to you. I felt like I was rapping.
Welcome back into the bottom half of the first inning here in game number 2 at Hermon Brothers Field between the Chinooks and Miners. That was such a fast top half of the first inning. Apologize if things were coming out a bit quick. We'll run through the Miners starting 9. Leading things off in left field is Chugiak-Eagle, followed by the shortstop Drew Swift. In the 3 spot is hot-hitting first baseman Spencer Henson, followed by the cleanup man right fielder Hunter Jump. He is followed up by third baseman Tyler Bozzetti. Behind him is the designated hitter David Avitia, followed by the man behind the plate Austin Pinarini. And in the 8th spot is the second baseman switch-hitting Connor Denning. And rounding things off in the 9 hole is center fielder Braden Merritt.
For your minors, your left
And they will face Sam
Connor
Brace.
Quiggle.
Brace has 5 innings pitched so far on the season. Has appeared 3 times. This is his first start of the season as a Chinook. His first pitch into Quiggle misses inside around the belt. Brace, in 3 appearances, has pitched 5 innings for a 3.6 ERA as he misses in the dirt for ball number 2. Move the count to 2-0. Kona Quiggle sparked the Miners offense back in game 1 as he leads off in game 2, chops one over to second. Harper makes the routine play for out number 1. With this break, we'll run through the defensive starters for the Chinooks. Left to right on the infield, third base, Wharton. Shortstop, Ozuna. At second, Harper, and Dopp over at first. In the outfield, in left field is Largusa. In center is Bollinger. And in right is Collins. And the man behind the plate today, J. Paul Fullerton for the Chinooks. Drew Swift, the second batter, hits one oppo to the right field. Soft liner grabbed by Collins. He was on the move as he just made it over his left shoulder. Route number 2. I tell you what, Connor, this game is flying out the gate.
Yes, it is. Lots of swinging at the first pitch. Trying to attack early from both sides for the Chinooks and the Miners.
And that brings up one of the hotter bats in the Miner lineup. This is only his 6th game played, but already 474 average, 524 on base percentage with 4 RBIs is for Spencer Henson. Will face the lefty Sam Brace. And Henson's first pitch swinging. He grounds one over to the left side for strike 1. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. We're still scoreless here at Hermon Brothers Field. Sam Brace's 0-1, misses high and in. Moves the count to 1-1. Game 2 of today's doubleheader, meaning we'll only play 7. Played 7 in game number 1 and scheduled 7 in game number 2 as Henson looks at a strike on the outside corner. We're scheduled 7 in game 2 of the doubleheader back on Saturday night, but that turned into 12. That was really a dogfight. Henson fouls off the 1-2 over to the other side. Right side, I should say. Sam Brace, the big lefty, as I mentioned, 4. This is his 4th appearance now. 3.6 ERA through 5 innings. In his last appearance, as he gets Henson locked up and looking at strike 3 to end the first inning. Wow, that inning went by faster than Usain Bolt's 100-meter speed. We are scoreless at the end of 1. We'll have inning number 2 for you on Matsu Minor Radio.
The wrap-up tickets here in game 2. And
well, a speedy first inning concluded in no runs being scored. That brings back out the Miner defense in the top half of the second inning. Here in game number 2, today's doubleheader. And on the mound is Josh Haley. Mentioned this is his 4th appearance. Second game started. He has pitched 10 1/3 so far this season with a .87 ERA. Only given up 4 hits so far for the Miners. And Haley has given up only 2 runs. Only one of those have been earned. Has 9 strikeouts so far in the season. So definitely a dominant left-hander from the University of Arizona. He gets Danny Dopp swinging through a first pitch. Nice off speed to start off to Dopp. Dopp swings through. Another Haley pitch. Counts moves to 0-2. Dopp standing in. Went 1 for 4 back in game 1. The 0-2 pitch gets Dopp swinging again. Haley has the off speed working early for strikeout number 2 of the game for 1 down in the top of the second inning.
Really has been fun to watch Josh Haley kind of pitch his way through the early start of the ABL season. You know, he's been dominant so far. He's given the Miners a lot of innings. Always kept the Miners in the game.
That brings up Gregory Osuna, the shortstop. He pulls one to the left side foul. So count at 0-1, 1 down in this top of the second inning. Feel like I've been talking a million miles a minute. Osuna swings through for strike number 2. As Haley and Brace, fast working pitchers. He wants time to talk to Pinarini. And Haley in his last start was back on June 13th. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, only 1 was earned. Only 3 hits and had 4 strikeouts. So Haley has been the man for the Miners in this starting rotation. His 0-2 is grounded right up the middle, but Denning was shifted over to the right, so he makes the easy play to retire for 1 down.
Took a nice, easy bounce for Denning. You know, adjusted, bring the glove back up to his chest. So a good play and stayed with it all the way through.
And Denning was about a step or 2 to the left, or to the right, rather, of the second base bag from our vantage point behind the press box. Standing in is the left-handed hitting catcher, J. Paul Fullerton. He looks at strike 1 low on the outside edge. The 0-1 to Fullerton is fouled back over to the left side. That seemed like it may have hit home plate umpire. As rather, he's just walking to the mound. And I asked Josh Haley pick which ball he would like. Haley takes a few steps off the mound, looks back at his outfield, does a little gesture to Braden Merritt, brings a little smile to his face. Josh Haley, really one of the lively personalities in this Miner clubhouse. His 0-2, big breaker, misses high. Always the one playing the music and dancing out, jamming out. He winds and delivers the 1-2. Gets Fullerton swinging through, way off of his heels. So Josh Haley now has 3 strikeouts through 6 batters faced. And we're still scoreless as we move into the bottom half of the second inning on Matsumana Radio. Welcome back into the bottom half of the second inning. No score through an inning and a half of play in today's game 2 of our doubleheader. Chinooks and Miners been working pretty quick here. We've seen 9 batters for both
Leading off
teams.
for your minors.
Rather,
Right field
6 for the
14,
Chinooks and only 3 for the
Hunter
Miners.
Jump.
Nevertheless, all 9 have been set down. That brings up left-hand hitting Hunter Jump. And I tell you what, Connor, this is starting to become a 3-4 punch between Henson and Jump as he looks at a ball low and away. Henson coming in on fire, and Jump's been a nice man at the cleanup position.
As we said about Jump in game 1, that he's able to drive home the RBIs. You know, he's one of the leaders. He was 5th, had another one. We got to check the updated standings, but he's a guy who can drive across.
So Jump looks at a ball low and away and then looks at a strike that nails the outside corner. Count is at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lefty on lefty matchup between Brace and Jump. Brace working quickly, but misses again on the outside edge. So Brace, 3 straight pitches on the lower half. Count is now tied up at 2. Nobody out in this home half of the second inning. And Jump just dribbles one in between short and third, and he's going to get in there time. Nice attempt there from the shortstop Ozuna, but the jump throw couldn't quite make it. So Hunter Jump is on. First hit of this game.
Your third baseman, number 3.
The infield
Hunter
single.
Bossetti.
And I'll tell you what, this Miners lineup is absolutely on fire the past 2 games. If they won 2 in a row now. 6 hits, 5 runs back in game number 1. As Tyler Bozzetti stands in. Hunter Jump on first. Brace will have to work from the stretch for the first time today. Bozzetti looking to bunt, but he'll pull back. Pitch was called a strike. So Bozzetti down on the count, 0-1. Bozzetti, the third baseman out of the University of Nevada, Reno. The 0-1 to Bozzetti is fouled straight back to move the count to 0-2. So Bozzetti has shown bunt twice. First time pulled back. Second time bunts at foul. So he's in the hole, 0-2, with nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. We're still scoreless. Bozzetti, back in game 1, went 0 for 1, but did reach. He was hit by a pitch and ended up coming around and scored. So Brace from the stretch, the 0-2, lined foul over toward the right side of that netting. Right in front of us in the press box. So Bozzetti fights to stay alive. Brace on the mound, a big figure standing at 6'5". So, and he checks Jump. And as he did, it was a box. So Hunter Jump will advance to second. And the Miners have a man in scoring position with nobody out.
Great opportunity here. Try to get across a couple runs.
As Brace sort of looked like he was going towards the plate, sort of leaned that way, and then threw over. So first base umpire, called it a box. So the 0-2 to Bozzetti. Misses high and away. 1-2 count. Bozzetti batting .263 on the season with a .349 on base percentage. Bozzetti's been hot the past few games, getting on base and even scored the go-ahead run in the top of the 12th inning back on Saturday night. Brace comes set. His 0-2 nails that lower inside corner. That was really the Achilles heel for the Miners back in game 1 and comes back to bite him here in game 2. So Bozzetti is set down on strikes. That's Brace's second strikeout today.
David Avitia.
1 down for this game's designated hitter, David Avitia. Avitia caught back in game 1. So Brace looks in. The tall lefty checks second. Motions back to home. His first pitch into Avitia misses low. Avitia is starting to turn things around. Didn't really have such a great start to the season, but starting to pull closer to that 200 batting average. Really solid on base percentage at a clip of .323. Braces 1-0 to Avitia, misses, or rather hits the inside corner. Moves the count to 1-1. We have 1 out, no score, bottom of the second. Hunter Jump stands on second. He reached on an infield single. Really, if Ozuna could have made that play over at short, ranging to his right, that would have been spectacular. And Avitia looks at strike 2 on the lower corner and just kind of stares back at home plate umpire and says, really?
Well, it was cool because, he stared back. The umpire was staring down at the ground, so he didn't see it.
So Avitia is down in the count 1-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the second. Brace comes set. Actually about head high with that glove. Avitia fouls it back over to the right side. Sort of a weird set motion for Sam Brace. Sort of all the way at the top of his head. Rare to see a pitcher hold it that high before he delivers. Some pick it up, such as Clayton Kershaw, but rarely do you see a guy start from that formation. Nevertheless, still sitting at a 1-2 count. The pitch is lined over into right field. That's going to one hop before Collins can get it. Jump will advance to third and hold there. So the Miners with runners on the corner, so only 1 out, as David Avitia ropes a single into right field.
Your catcher, number 20, Austin.
So the Miners with 2 hits this inning and are threatening right now with only 1 out. And that brings up the left-handed hitting catcher, Austin Pinarini. And if you remember back in Pinarini's last at-bat was back on Saturday night in the top of the 12th, he smacked a 2 RBI double. And I mean absolutely clobbered it. A 1-hopper to the wall in the gap in between center and right as he takes the first pitch strike on that lower outside corner. Pinarini, as I mentioned back on Saturday, that was his only hit in 6 at-bats. So sort of struggled at the plate, but give him a little bit of a break. He had to do 12 innings of catching. The 0-1 to Pinarini is lifted high into right or left field, camped under his Largusa, tagging and running home his jumps. So the Miners strike first in the bottom of the second inning here in game 2 to take a 1-0 lead over the Chinooks. Nice execution from the Miners off of Vitia's base hit to move jump over, and then to hit him in is Pinarini. You gotta love it, Connor.
Absolutely gotta love it. Play a little small ball. Last game you played long ball. This time you're keeping the ball in the field and just scoring runs any way you can.
So the Miners with a fresh new lead, 1-0 over the Chinooks in the bottom of the second. There's 2 outs, however, as Connor Denning, the switch-hitting second baseman, stands in. He looks at a ball low around his ankles. Denning, it's been a bit since he stepped onto the playing turf. June 12th was his last game, which Miners faced the Oilers, as Denning looks at an inside pitch for a strike to move the count to 1-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Denning went 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout back on the 12th. So Denning looking to try to a slow start to the season. There we go, as that inside fastball nails Denning on the leg, but he shakes it right off and rolls on down to first. So the Miners now have 2 runners on with 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. They already lead this ball game.
Now batting,
1-0.
Center fielder number 4, Braden Merritt.
So Denning reaches. That brings up Braden Merritt, the center fielder from New Mexico. So that'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup with 2 outs. Merritt did play in game 1 as he looks at his strike low and at the knees. He did play in game 1, but however, did not get in that bat. Came in the final inning in relief of Danny Wright to play center field. So for defensive purposes, Braden Merritt came in. Merritt, another one of those Miners that's looking to kind of turn things around here earlier in the season as he swings through an off-speed pitch for strike number 2. So Merritt's down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes, with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Miners have already taken the lead in this one, 1-0. Brace with a long look in. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. He takes a peek over at Avitia and now kicks and fires. This one's high at around Merritt's shoulders for ball 1. Braden Merritt out of New Mexico, batted .294 this past spring. Actually, a high school teammate of Miner shortstop Drew Swift. The 1-2 from Brace. Misses low and away. Count tied up at 2. Where Merritt and Swift won 3 state baseball championships together at Hamilton High School in Chandler, Arizona.
That's always a tough thing to do. You know, to win 1, it takes a lot of luck. To win 3, that's talent and luck.
Braces 2-2. Gets Merritt locked up, and Merritt, very disappointed in that call, actually pointed to his bat and says, "Where was that?" And head coach Ben Taylor is disappointed in it too. He has some words for the home plate umpire, saying that the catcher Fullerton had to reach down almost near the dirt to make that snag. Nevertheless, that ends the inning, but the Miners do strike. They get 1 hit on 2 runs, or other way around. 1 run on 2 hits. They leave a couple stranded. We move into the 3rd inning on Matsu Minor Radio. Miners with this fresh 1-0 lead. Moving into the 3rd inning. It's been a quick first 2 innings, especially for the Chinooks. They've have 6 batters step in and 6 batters walk right back out, pretty much. Miners lead 1-0. Josh Haley still on the mound for the Miners, as I mentioned, cruising through these first 2 innings. He faces the bottom 3 of the Chinooks lineup. His first pitch into Jaron Largusa is in for a strike. Largusa did not play in game 1. His last time he was in the game was yesterday against the Bucks, where he went 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. He dribbles one over to shortstop, but with a nice throw from Drew Swift, gets out number 1 of this 3rd inning.
A lot of action for Swift early on. That's 3 ground balls all over to Swift. So he's handling and fielding position like he does every day.
He really does. It's just so smooth. Great transition and the throw over. That brings in Thomas Harper, as Haley's first pitch into Harper bounces in the dirt and sort of gets away from Peter Rainey. But with no one on, it doesn't really matter. 1 down, top of the 3rd inning. Miners lead 1-0. Haley's 1-0 is grounded foul over to the left side. Thomas Harper playing 2nd today. So far on the season, only 1 of 11. Has came around and scored twice, however. 1-1 to Harper is dribbled right back to Haley, who fields it and makes the nice throw over for out number 2. And this Miners defense with a little bit of swagger in there around the horn. All of them kind of jumping after they throw it, as they're feeling pretty good. Got the win in game 1, leading here in game 2. On a 2-game win streak now, the Miners, after dropping 4, they've now won 3 out of 4. As that brings up Seth Bollinger. Bollinger led off in game 1. As they checked to see if he went on the first pitch. He did not, so moves the count to 1-0. Bollinger back in game 1 went 1 for 3, had 3 ribbies for the Chinooks. 3 out of the 4. As Haley misses again low. As the count's at 2 balls, no strikes, 2 down. Top of the 3rd inning, Miners lead 1-0. Haley's 2-0. Paints that outside corner at 2-1. It is a note to mention that Josh Haley has a fresh haircut out there.
He does.
And really not a super superstitious guy. The only thing he says that he does that is superstitious-esque, if that's the word, as he misses low and away, move the count to 3-1, is if he pitches well, he'll have whatever he had for breakfast that morning if he knows he's pitching that day. As Bollinger lines one into right field for the Chinooks' first hit of the day. He's on with 2 outs. And going back to Haley, really, some pitchers can be superstitious. Wow, I'm just throwing out some great terms today. Superstitious, whereas Haley just really isn't. Just that's the same breakfast. That's his only thing.
Yeah. Whatever works, it works. Every ball player has their own superstitions.
Because some guys is stepping in and grounding one hard over to the left side, ranging over to his left, and retiring the side is Connor Denning as Collins grounds out. So we'll continue this conversation when we come back and move into the home half of the 3rd inning. The Miners still holding on to that 1-0 lead. Keep it here on Matsu Miner Radio. We're back on Matsu Miner Radio. Brad Walker alongside Connor Mills. The Miners leading the Chinooks 1-0 in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. And going back to our conversation, Connor, some pitchers are just do the craziest things when they know they're pitching. They'll wear 2 different socks. They have to put things on the right way or else they just don't function. So definitely surprising that Josh Haley doesn't do all of that. So we'll leave that conversation there. We could probably babble on about weird superstitions all night long.
I know the most common one is don't step on the foul line or don't step on the batter's box. People do it anyway.
So nevertheless, we're back in the bottom of the 4th inning. Miners leading 1-0. That brings up the Miners leadoff hitter and left fielder, Chugiak-Eagle. He looks at ball 1 low. Move the count to 1-0. Eagle grounded to second base in his first at-bat. Had that 3-run home run back in Game 1. He looks at ball 2. Low as it skirmishes behind the catcher Fullerton. Eagle, one of the hottest guys in this minor lineup. Coming into this game, batting .273 with a .304 on base percentage. As Brace falls behind, another low pitch, 3-0. So Eagle looks to come aboard to lead off this inning. And Brace hitting that outside corner for strike 1. That's been a pretty consistent call on that lower corner. The 3-1 into Eagle. And for a strike. So the count has been worked to full after 2 pitches on the outside corner from Sam Brace. The 3-2 is dribbled down the first base line. Just rolls foul before first baseman Danny Dopp can run up to it.
That took a favorable turn for Eagle.
It really did, as Dopp was trying to sprint up to grab it. But luckily for Eagle, he has new life. As the count's still at 3-2. Eagle on the year after that home run back in Game 1. Up to 4 extra base hits and now 5 RBIs. So he's been batting lower in the lineup lately, but now leading off this game. He'll look at ball 4. So the Miners get their leadoff man on for the 2nd straight inning. First walk issued by Sam Brace. He's hit a couple of guys, but hasn't walked anyone yet. That brings up Drew Swift, who flew out to the right fielder. He looks to bunt, pulls it back. Actually, I believe there was time before that pitch was thrown. Yes, the first base umpire calling time. So that first pitch was non-existent. So we'll try this again. Brace's first pitch into Swift is bunted, dribbles just outside the lefty batter's box, and Swift almost beat it out. Wasn't a drag bunt by any means, Connor, but with Swift's speed and the placement of that bunt, he almost got there.
Yeah, he almost did.
Your first baseman, number 35,
So,
Spencer.
the Miners playing a lot of small ball today and executing very well as they have a runner on scoring position with only one down. And due up are the 3-4 guys. They've been a power combo. Henson and Jump. Standing in is Henson from the right side. He struck out looking in his last at-bat. Brace's first pitch to Henson has him waving. Move the count to no balls, 1 strike. 1 down, bottom of the third. Miners lead the Chinooks 1-0. Brace, the tall lefty, out on the mound. Worked a perfect first inning. And then the Miners jumped on him in the second and already have a runner in scoring position with only 1 down. Henson grounds one hard over to short. Ozuna with the high throw, but making the nice jumping catch and then spinning with the tag is Dopp to tag Henson for out number 2 of the inning. That does advance Quiggle over to third. She advances on the fielder's choice. So Hunter Jump stands in, the cleanup man. Jump with a single and then ended up coming around to score in his first at-bat back in the second inning. That moves Jump up to 3 runs scored this year. He'd like to move his RBI total up to 8, or 9 rather. Try to drive in Quiggles. He fouls one off over to the left side. Jump out of Arizona State, where very funny story of how he started. The 0-1 to Jump misses blown away. Correct me if I'm wrong, partner, but had to throw 87. His coach said he had to throw 87 from the mound on practice, and on the second try, he did.
Yes, he did. He hit 85 the first time, hit 87 the second time, was put in the lineup, hit 370, and whenever you do that, they're not going to take him out, so that's the story.
He looks at a ball and move it to 2 balls and 1 strike. Just magnifying. I know we've talked about it on a broadcast before, but, give the kid a chance. That just shows how competitive Jump is. He's going to go for it. The 2-1 into Jump misses low. He's worked a hitter's count, 3-1, with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Miners lead 1-0. Jump definitely been impressive in that 4-hole, batting .250, .283 on base percentage as he calls for time. Brace kind of taking a while to see his signals from Fullerton. So with 2 outs, man on third, Miners look to extend this 1-0 lead. Brace's pitch had Jump swinging, and it was a called, sort of a check swing, but it didn't matter. One plate umpire called it strike 2. We're at a full count, 2 outs here in the home half of the third inning. Brace's payoff pitch. Foul over to the right side by Hunter Jump. The Chinooks had won 3 out of their last 4 before losing to the Miners. So now obviously 1 game. The payoff to Jump. He grounds it hard, bouncing over to first, but kind of stopping with his glove and then catching it is Dopp, who tags the first base bag and ends the inning. The Miners get a man on, get him all the way over to third, but unfortunately leave him there. They still lead, however, 1-0 over the Chinooks. We'll head into the 4th inning on Matsu Minor Radio.
Reporting outages with a touch of your finger.
Well, we're about midway through this game 2 of today's doubleheader. Only playing 7 because of the doubleheader. Only plays 7 in doubleheaders in the ABL.
And now batting for the Chinooks.
And that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Luke Van Dover. Josh Haley very efficient through 3, only giving up 1 hit. That's all the Chinooks have managed to do. As the southpaw winds and delivers the first pitch of inning number 4, and it's hopped over to third, and Bozetti with the strong arm throw over to first for out number 1. So another first pitch out for Josh Haley.
Jordan Wharton.
That is the 4th first pitch out. So the Chinooks swinging early, and it's not really working out for him. You got to wonder if they'll make adjustments as we move later into this game. So Josh Haley's first pitch to the right-handed hitting third baseman Jordan Wharton nails the inside corner for strike 1. And Wharton hits one right back to Haley. Haley with about a jog halfway to first from the mound, and then tosses it over to Henson. We have 2 down in the top of the 4th. So that only took 1 pitch. So Haley, or rather 2 pitches. So Haley is 3 pitches and 2 down in this visiting half of the 4th inning. Talk about efficiency. Josh Haley's doing that. Haley's 0-0. Nails the zone. Move it to 0-1. So the 2 starters for the Miners today, as Haley winds and delivers the 0-1. That's chopped over to short. Moving in and making the play is Drew Swift for out number 3 of the inning. So Josh Haley, through 4 innings, is tearing down the Chinooks, only giving up 1 hit through 4 innings. The Chinooks don't do anything on this home half, rather visiting half of the 4th inning. Miners still lead 1-0. Bottom 4th, Miners on top of the Chinooks, 1-0. And Connor, Josh Haley, absolutely dominating on the mound right now.
Yeah, he is. Haley getting ahead of counts, keeping the hitters guessing. He has us breaking stuff over for strikes. You can't ask more from him.
Bozetti leading things off for the Miners. He takes a first pitch ball low. Sam Brace still working for the Chinooks. He's not doing bad either. Only giving up 2 hits in 1 run. Has walked a man. So the Miners have left 3 on right now, as Brace has allowed 4 Miners to reach base. The 2-0 into Pinarini is slapped into left field on his horse, and making the grab over near the left field line is Largusa for out number 1.
Now batting your designated hitter,
the bottom of the 4th inning. So David Avitia stands in. Avitia with a single in his last at bat. It helped move over Hunter Jump, and then Pinarini hit him in, who's on deck. So real efficient back in the 2nd inning. As Brace from the wind nails the lower half for a strike. Brace is 0-1. Misses lone away. Avitia, the right-handed hitting designated hitter, chooses not to wear batting gloves. Just doesn't like the feel of them. Feels more comfortable just his hands on the bat. He's worked the count to 2-1. So the Miners, off a Game 1 win, lead the series 2-1 over the Chinooks. As Brace's 2-1 is flied well behind the press box. And counts tied up at 2. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Miners lead 1-0. Connor, as braces 2-2 is on the way and swung through and missed by Avitia. So out number 2 for the Miners. Connor, the Chinooks only won 1 game in this season series last year. Miners won it 10-1.
Your catcher number
Already with 1 win.
Austin Pinerini.
It was a tightly contested game 1. And the way the pitching's been going, we could see possibly the Chinooks sneak it out, but the way the Miners hitting, it seems likely that they might pull away for game 2.
You know, anything could happen. 11 games against the other 4 teams.
Pinerini launches one into left center field, and on the move, sprinting into second, he'll be standing safely with the 2-out double. Austin Pinerini showing off that power once again.
Now batting your second baseman number 5.
So Pinerini keeps this inning alive with the 2-out double, and that's now in his past 3 at-bats, rather technically 2 because he had a sacrifice fly for an RBI back in the 2nd inning. Now has 3 RBIs and 2 doubles. So he stands on second with 2 down. That brings up Connor Denning, who hits from the right side against the lefty Sam Brace. First pitch into Denning, nails the inside corner. Fullerton sort of moved his glove near Denning's knees, and then Denning hopped out of the way, so looked as if it was going to be a ball. Was, however, called a strike. So Denning falls behind 0-1. Denning hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. The pitch into Denning. Misses inside, hits off the left knee pad of Fullerton and bounces over to the left side behind home plate. So Pinerini will advance to third. And with 2 outs, once again, the Miners have a man on third.
They're doing a nice job getting them around. And for this game, just got to get them in.
And the 1-1 is skied over to the right side of the infield. The long camp under it is Dopp, but he'll snag it for out number 3 of the inning. The Miners get 1 hit, but won't do anything with it. And we're still at 1-0 Miners lead over the Chinooks as we move into the 5th inning.
Merchandise shack to win that quilt toward the end of the season. Also, the wheelbarrow.
Pitchers duel through 4 innings here at Hermon Brothers Field. Miners lead it the duel 1-0. They got that run back in the 2nd inning. We're moving into the second half of this game, only playing 7. Well, we thought that on Saturday night as well, and it ended up going 12 innings.
Let's hope that doesn't happen again.
This time we're at home, however. We don't have a 45-minute drive home. It'll be a little more withstandable. It was fun, though, as Gregory Ozuna stands in, fans through a first pitch strike. So the count to Ozuna is at 0-1. It was a fun 12-inning game as the Miners exploded in that 12th inning, 5 runs. It's like they bottled up as Ozuna swings through. Another Haley strike. Counts at 0-2. It's almost like the Miners bottled up a game's worth of offense and just threw it down all the way in the top half of that 12th inning. Josh Haley misses in the dirt, counts at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out in the visiting half of the 5th inning. Ozuna grounded out in his first at-bat. Haley winds and delivers. Ozuna softly lines one over to the right side for a foul ball, so he'll stay alive at 1-2. Ozuna, a hot bat in the Chinooks lineup, batting .359, has 3 ribbies to add to his name. 1-2 from Haley, is grounded foul over to the left side. So Ozuna just getting the bat on the ball, fouling them off. We noticed back in game 1, Churchill sort of exploited Ozuna on the outer edge. Wonder if Haley will do the same. He winds and delivers the 1-2, gets Ozuna to swing through. It's in the dirt, so Pinarini will throw down to ensure the out. So Josh Haley, another strikeout. That's his 4th of the game. He's been dealing through 4 1/3. No runs on only 1 hit.
Catcher number 23, J. Paul Fullerton.
Brings up J. Paul Fullerton. So we'll have a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Fullerton, another catcher that doesn't wear the batting gloves. Just goes with the bare hands. Josh Haley delivers a big breaker that barely misses up near the numbers of J. Paul Fullerton. Fullerton striking out in the 2nd inning as he fouls one back to the fence. And that was actually the last time before Ozuna's strikeout that Haley struck a man out. So working quickly, the 1-1 pitch is lofted into left center field. Jogging over and making the grab is Braden Merritt for out number 2 of the inning.
Batting left fielder.
I tell you what, Connor, Haley is working quickly and efficiently right now.
Absolutely. You know, if you want to go deep into games, you pitch to contact. You get the strikeouts when it's there. But, you know, he is pitching contact and just getting the outs. You know, he's guessing, keeping the batters off balance, making them guess. It's always fun to watch when Haley's on the mound.
Largusa, the left fielder, stands in, looks to be the 2nd man to reach for the Chinooks. He looks at a ball from Haley. Haley right now is pitching like a perfectly timed and rhythmic song as he delivers another strike low and on the inside corner. Largusa struggling out the gates here in the ABL, only a 192 average. Does have 5 RBIs, however, as he swings through. Haley's pitch to move the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top of the 5th inning, Miners lead 1-0. Haley looks to retire the Chinooks. His 1-2 just misses on the outer edge. That was weird. Swift and Denning, the short and second basemen, both hop to their left simultaneously. So Haley's 1-2. That's shot up in the air, left center field. Quiggle sprinting under it and making the grab about 4 steps away from the wall to retire the side. So for the 4th time tonight, Josh Haley sets down the Chinooks 1-2-3, and the Miners bats will come up as they lead 1-0 in Matsu Miners Radio.
Leading off for your Miners, center fielder number 4.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, the Miners look to add to this 1-0 lead over the Chinooks, and they'll do it with their 9-1-2 hitters. Starting things off, the center fielder, Braden Merritt, batting from the left side. So we'll begin this home half of the 5th inning with the lefty-on-lefty matchup. He looks at a ball low. And Connor, Josh Haley has been dealing, yes, absolutely dominating, but not too far behind is Sam Brace.
Yeah, Brace is also hitting his spots, getting the crucial strikeouts.
As his 1-0 nails the outer edge, ties up the count at 1-1. Merritt's looked to bunt in these past 2 pitches. Struck out looking back in inning number 2. He looks at a ball on that lower outside corner. Kind of the rough spot of the zone for the Miners hitters. They've been rung up a few times over there. And Merritt swings through. Count tied up at 2. Merritt with the freshly shaved look. Did have that little beard going. Now the clean cut look. 2-2 into Merritt's, fouled off over to the left side.
Said his parents were coming in the next week or 2, right?
Yeah, gotta look good for mom and dad. There'll probably be some family photos taken in the mountains. Gotta look good. 2-2 to Merritt. Nails that outside corner. So Merritt again is set down on a pitch by that corner for his 2nd strikeout of the game. Brace's 5th.
Now batting, your left fielder, number 24, Kona.
So with 1 down, Kona Quiggle steps in. Quiggle made it all the way to 3rd in his last at-bat. Brace's first pitch into Quiggle. Misses low and away. And that throw from Fullerton, well over the head of Sam Brace. Brace just kind of threw his glove up in the air. Didn't really try to grab it. That was errant. Good thing no one's on right now for the Miners. That could have been trouble.
And good backup from Osuna.
So the 1-0 into Quiggle misses low and outside. Move the count to 2-0. Miners lead in this bottom half of the 5th inning. 1-0. Getting that RBI hit as Quiggle grounds one over to the second baseman Harper, who tosses over to first for out number 2. The second time Kona Quiggle has grounded over to the second baseman Harper tonight. That brings up Drew Swift. Swift back in game 1 went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Right now, 0 for 1. He had a sac bunt back in the 3rd inning. But with nobody on, 2 outs, definitely swinging away. Sam Brace, the quick wind, misses low and in. Counts at 1-0. Swift's been speedy on the base paths. 7 runs scored. He's stolen 6 bags. As he hops out of the way of the second pitch to Swift. Counts at 2-0. Swift, the shortstop out of Arizona State. As we mentioned earlier, high school teammates with Braden Merritt. As he grounds one hard over to the third baseman Wharton, who spins and makes the throw to first. That'll do it for the 5th inning. The Miners lead the Chinooks 1-0 as we head into the 6th inning on Matsu Minor Radio.
Seven 5-2-3-7. The boys win.
Time for the 6th inning of play here at Hermon Brothers Field. We're in game 2. Today's doubleheader, only playing 7 because of the doubleheader.
4.
And Josh Haley dealing right now, only
Leading off for the Chinooks here in the 6th, second base number 31, Thomas Harper.
only one hit given up. As the first pitch into Thomas Harper misses tying away. Harper looking to bunt, and the Chinooks really just trying to get the tying run on any way they can. Haley's 1-0. Whew, just barely misses that outside corner for ball 2. Standings as of now, the Oilers are atop at 9-4. Miners sit 2.5 back at 6-6. The Bucks and Chinooks tied at 3 behind. Bucks sit at 6-7. Chinooks 5-6 as Haley misses again for a ball. And the Pilots are at the bottom 4-7. They're 4 games out of it. So still early in the ABL season as Haley paints the inside corner to move the count to 3-1. So still pretty close pack. No one pulling ahead early and no one falling away late. So Harper fouls it over to the right side. Hits the right side of the press box. It must have been a pretty good snag out of our view, but the fans cheering on. And the count has risen full. Harper bouncing it foul over to the left side. Haley, 52 pitches so far. 38 have been strikes. So very efficient currently. His 3-2 is smacked into left center field. That's going to one hop before Merritt can run up to it and toss it in. So the Chinooks get their leadoff man on for the first time tonight. Harper reaches on the leadoff single. That brings up Seth Bollinger. He's the only other Chinook to get a hit in this lineup. So he got a base hit in his last at-bat and only at-bat back in the 3rd inning. But the way Haley's been dealing, wouldn't be surprised if we see a double play ball here soon. Haley out of the stretch. It's only the 2nd time tonight as he tries to check on Harper over at first. So the Chinooks runners haven't really seen Haley's move in person yet. He comes set. He's from his torso. Kicks and deals. The bunt straight back to Haley. He throws hard down to first. So Bollinger will move Harper over to second on the sac bunt. Route number 1 of the inning. And some small ball for the Chinooks. And kind of can't really blame them. They're only down 1-0. Now down to their final 5 outs.
No, it's a smart thing to do. You know, you have a runner on, nobody out, bunt them over. Then you have the next 2 batters to try to hit them in.
And it also brings up this top half of the order, in which for the Chinooks has some great numbers coming in. Didn't really do much in the last game.
8175-194.
Other than Bollinger, who hit the 3 RBI, he was at the top of the order in last game, this time in the bottom as he just bunted over Harper. Nevertheless, there's a man in scoring position for the Chinooks. They trail 1-0, top of the 6th inning here at Hermon Brothers Field. Brad Walker alongside Connor Mills. Haley's from the stretch. Nails the outside corner for strike 1. Collins stands in, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 today, the left-handed hitting Collins. So lefty on lefty matchup. Collins, plate umpire says he did. So Haley ahead in the count, 0-2. No double play ground ball in play. And really, this Chinooks offense ranks 1st in average at 264 with their batting average. As Haley's 0-2 is fouled off to the left side. So this is a pretty tall task to face these Chinooks hitters. And Ian Churchill, who came in relief of Jake Terry, ended up getting the win too. Shut him down for the most part. Now Haley making quick work of them. As Collins fouls another one high and into the left side. Nice crowd on hand tonight at Hermon Brothers Field. Back in the first game, we had a nice crowd of 836. And Haley gets Collins to lock up on a nice breaking pitch for his 5th strikeout of the game. And that moves to out number 2. So the Miners are 1 out away of getting the Chinooks out, even though they have the tying run in scoring position currently. Josh Haley, in his only start, went 6 innings. As his first pitch to Luke Vandover nails the inside corner for strike 1. Vandover, the designated hitter, is grounded out twice tonight. Haley comes set, checks second. His 0-1 is lined into left field near the line. That's going to get past Quiggle, and around third and scoring is Harper. And the 2-out, 1 RBI double ties this game up at 1 apiece for Luke Vandover. That was a solid piece of hitting from Vandover, an inside pitch. He just got the hands through Connor and laced one out in the left field.
Yeah, he did. Just got out front of it, and it stayed within the lines.
So the shutout is over for Josh Haley. 5 2/3 it took the Chinooks to get their first run. And with this break, we'll have pitching coach Jeff Erlab talk to Haley. So with this break, we'd like to thank the official sponsor of the Matsu Miners Internet broadcast, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Maruda. Also, Miners Jersey Giveaway. Go to your locally owned and operated Napa store to enter and win today. Also, like to thank the official sponsor of the Matsu Miners Travel, Alaska Airlines. So we're back here at the MEA Kids Day here at Hermon Brothers Field. We're tied up at 1 off Luke Vandover's 2-out RBI double. That brings up Jordan Wharton, a third baseman. He looks to keep the Chinooks rally alive. Haley's first pitch just misses low and inside. Wharton, easily the highest average on the Chinooks, batting .417, leads the ABL. And Wharton skies one into center field, ranging back a few steps is Merritt, who makes the grab. And that is it for the Chinooks. But they do hit 1 run on 2 hits in the top half of the 6th inning. The Miners will look to retake the lead in the home half of the 6th inning when we come back on Matsu Miner Radio.
Wishes the Miner good luck.
As we're just ending stretch time here at Hermon Brothers Field, midway through the 6th inning, tied up at 1 apiece. Only playing 7 in today's Game 2 of the doubleheader. Played 7 in Game 1. The Miners victorious 5-4, so they look to improve this 2-game win streak to 3 and make it 4 out of 6. But they'll have to do it against Sam Brace, who's been dealing very well tonight.
Leading off for your Miners.
So through 5 innings, only giving up 1 run
Spencer Henson
on 2 hits. So Henson stands in. Right-handed hitting first baseman. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Back in Game 1, Henson went 1 for 2 with 1 run and also reached on a walk. First pitch to Henson to start this bottom of the 6th. Misses low for a ball. Sam Brace from the wind, quick wind up in delivery, is lined hard up the middle just past the second baseman Harper. And the Miners get Spencer Henson a leadoff hit. That's the 3rd time tonight the Miners have gotten their leadoff man aboard. And now the second part of the 3-4 punch. Hunter Jump stands in, nobody out, 1 man on for the Miners. Brace coming in to this inning, 77 pitches. So once again, another great performance in this pitcher's duel. We've only seen 1 run, a total of 2 runs rather from both teams. So the lefty on lefty matchup and jump. A two-hopper over to Harper. He tosses it over to second for one and over to Dopp for the second. 4-6-3 double play. So the Miners already have 2 outs after one swing of the bat.
Now batting your third baseman, number 3, Tyler Bossetti.
So with 2 down, that brings up Tyler Bossetti. Bossetti's 0 for 2 today. Still looking for the first hit of the day in total. Went 0 for 1 back in the first game. As he looks at a strike, move the count to 0-1. Dan Brace coming in. 47 of those 77 pitches were strikes. As Bossetti swings through, he's down on the count 0-2. Miners and Chinooks tied at 1 in this bottom of the 6th inning. Last time the Miners were tied in the late game, we went 12. Bossetti swings through. That's strike 3, and that ends the 6th inning.
And the boys
The Chinooks score 1 in the top half of the inning, and the Miners are set down in order 1-2-3 after getting a hit, jump grounding into a double play. So we're tied at 1. We head to this, which should be the final inning. We could see more here on Matsu Miner Radio. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Miners. And in relief of a great effort from Josh Haley, coming in is probably the best bullpen guy for the Miners so far this season, Malachi Emmons, the right-hander from New Mexico. Emmons appeared 5 times, has 7 innings pitched, only given up 2 hits, has walked 7, and this is the most staggering stat, 14 strikeouts. So Danny Dopp will be the first man to face Emmons, and he fouls one off over to the right side. Emmons been just crucial and dominant on the mound for the Miners in relief this season. His 0-1. Nice breaker that barely misses on the outer edge. So Dopp starting off this 7th inning, righty-on-righty matchup. Only scheduled to go 7, but definitely a chance of free baseball as we're tied at 1. And Dopp with a skying drive into right center field at the wall, making the grab is Hunter Jump for out number 1. That one was hit into the power alley over there in right center, where it just catches that wind and wants to sail over, but just dropping in time and making the catch is Hunter Jump for out number 1.
That was a long way to go for Jump, and did a nice job tracing back, keeping his eye on the ball while also looking out for the wall.
That brings up the shortstop, Gregory Ozuna. Ozuna 0 for 2 on the day. As we've only seen 3 hits, 6 hits in total in this game as Emmons delivers a first pitch breaker in for a strike. 6 hits in total, 3 for the Chinooks and 3 for the Miners. We're tied at 1 in this top of the 7th inning with 1 out. Emmons kicks and fires. Another slider in there for strike 2. So the first 2 pitches to Ozuna have been sliders, and they've both been strikes. So we'll have to protect. Ozuna went 2 for 3 back in game 1. Came around and scored. The 0-2. Another slider from Emmons. This one misses. As Pinarini, after that, kind of stretches his right leg. 1-2-1 down. Emmond kicks and fires. A bouncer right back to Emmond. And just as he did on Saturday night, makes the barehanded snag and throws over to first for out number 2.
Now he's just showing off.
That one, I think, had a little less juice on it. On Saturday night, that thing was bouncing super duper hard. This time, not as much, but nevertheless, still impressive from Malachi.
I don't think he even needs his glove. He's fielding fine with just his bare hand.
So he set down 2 in a row, and his first 2 batters faced. And his first pitch into J. Paul Fullerton's in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. 2 down. Top of the 7th inning. Emmons 0-1 gets Fullerton swinging through. So Emmons, we'll say real quickly, Haley's stats. Haley went 6 innings, only gave up 3 hits, 1 run, which was earned. Had 5 strikeouts, and through 66 pitches thrown, 50 were strikes. So Josh Haley, super efficient, not in line for the win tonight, but definitely huge for the Miners. As Fullerton grounds one over the middle, quickly ranging to his left and making the throw is Drew Swift in time for out number 3. Drew Swift with the Swift speed makes the nice play over at short to end the inning, end the top half of the inning. We'll move into the bottom of the 7th. The Miners look to walk it off here at Hermon Brothers Field and win 3 in a row when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio.
$3 burgers now available.
Final inning of play. The Miners looking to sweep this doubleheader and improve their little win streak to 3. It means they would win 4 out of 6, but they need a run to do it. We're tied at 1 here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2 up for the Miners is Avitia, Pinarini, and Denning, who out of that group have 2 hits, and in total 3 have reached. Avitia leads things off. He's 1 for 2 today. Got a base hit back in the 2nd inning, which was actually pretty crucial because it moved Hunter Jump over, and then Jump was then driven in by Pinarini on a sac fly. So Brace winds and delivers. He's still on the mound for the Chinooks. Gets Avitia to swing through for strike 1. Brace still working through 6 innings, only giving up 3 hits and 1 run. 1 man up in the Chinooks pen. So Avitia swinging on the 2nd pitch, grounded hard over to short, moving to his left and making the throws Ozunia for out number 1.
This is getting eerily similar to the game against the Bucks that went 12.
It really was, and in that game against the Bucks, the Miners, the last time they scored, rather in that game against the Bucks until we got into the 12th, was in the 3rd inning. This time it's in the 2nd. So maybe if this does go extras, it'll only take 11 innings, Connor.
Yeah, maybe.
So Pinarini looks at a ball low and away. 2nd pitch into Pinarini is softly lined just over the outstretched glove of Ozunia. And the Miners have the game-winning run on first with only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Nice little poke from Pinarini.
So Pinarini, that's his 2nd hit of the day, and that brings up Connor Denning. Denning 0 for 1 today, got reached once on a hit by pitch back in the 2nd inning. Denning, his first time playing since June 12th, so it's been a week exactly. And batting in a huge moment here as Brace from the stretch kicks and fires, misses inside for ball 1. 1-0 count, 1 down, tied at 1 in the bottom of the 7th. The Miners have the winning run over on first. Brace still on the mound for the Chinooks. They do have a man in the pen as Brace kicks and delivers. Denning fouls one off over to the right side. There is a man up in the pen for the Miners. Looks like the right-hander Bryce Tassin. So Denning is tied up at 1. Brace comes set. Near his head. Kicks and deals. He misses high and into Denning. So he's worked the count to 2-1. Connor Denning, one of those guys that stays after practice, hits the cage. Even after we noticed after a game, he was in the cage getting some tee work in. Just trying to improve himself this summer, just like everyone else is. Brace's 2-1 is fouled just back off the ground, half home plate rather, to the catcher Fullerton. So the count is tied at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Game-winning run on first for the Miners. Large crowd in attendance for this game too on this Tuesday night. Connor Denning looking to deliver. Sam Brace from the stretch, the 2-2 misses low and away in the dirt. Count is now full, so nice at bat here from Connor Denning to make Brace work. And as Brace moves up later and later into this game, that's what these Miner hitters have to do. Make Brace come to you. Don't make it easy on him. Counts full, 1 down. The pitch misses high. Connor Denning's aboard. So the winning run is now in scoring position for the Miners with only 1 out.
And you got to imagine how much leash is left for Sam Brace. Are they going to leave him out there to potentially leave the walk-off for the Miners? Or could he work out of it?
And that's going to bring up
number 7,
Danny Wright. He is going to pinch hit for Braden Merritt. Wright got a start back in game 1. Wright went 0 for 3, but did reach on a walk. And we're going to have a mound visit. You got to wonder, this is where Sam Brace is pulled. Danny Wright, one of the hottest hitters in the ABL, batting .333 so far this season. And we are going to see a pitching change. And we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, there is 1 out, winning runs in scoring position for the Miners. Stay tuned. This should be an exciting one. New pitcher for the Chinooks with 1 out, and he comes in with the winning run on second. As I just said, only 1 down, too. So big situation. It's going to be the tall right-hander, Honus Kindrick. And if you were listening in earlier, that last name should sound familiar. His little brother Larson started game 1. His little brother Larson, nice outing. 4 innings pitched, gave up 4 runs. Was not the losing pitcher. But Honus, the older brother, by 2 years, just finished up his sophomore year at Biola University. where evidently his little brother is committed to. Honus, through 16 appearances, gathered up a 1-0 record, had a 13.24 ERA, did have a save, however, in 17 innings pitched. Gave up 27 hits, 8 walks, and 19 strikeouts. So, Honus Kindrick just appeared a few days ago, June 17th, for the Oilers, where he went 2 1/3, didn't give up any runs, had 2 strikeouts against 7 batters. But in a much bigger moment right now, on the road against the Miners, winning runs on second with 1 down. There is an insurance run, not really insurance run on first, I guess safety run if Pinarini gets set down somehow. And stepping in is pinch hitter Danny Wright. Kindrick, another left-hander.
Starting at 9 o'clock.
And Wright, Kindrick is the right-hander, so for the second game in a row, the Chinooks go lefty-righty with their pitching order, and Danny Wright will step in from the left side. He's a switch hitter. Wright this season batting .333, has 8 runs and 4 RBIs. So looking for the game-winning number 5 RBI here. The second run of the game for the Miners. We're tied at 1. First pitch from Kindrick. In for a strike. 0-1. The Chinooks looking for the double play, but the Miners have other options. That does leave more space for Wright to get a hit over on the shortstop and second base side. The 0-1 to Wright is a breaker that misses low.
Big moment here for Danny Wright. Can he keep the train moving and just bring up the next minor?
Wright stands in. Kindrick will be from the stretch. Checks second. Long look at second. Now kicks and deals. Wright holds off as he looks at a ball high and away. We're at 2-1. Only 1 out. The Miners looking to improve their season series lead over the Chinooks 3-1 and win 3 in a row. Coming off that 4-game losing streak, looking to improve to 4 out of 6. Wright skies one in the air. That's going to be over the left side of the press box. So count tied at 2. Only 1 out. Kindrick, as I mentioned, out of Biola, has appeared 3 times this season for the Chinooks. 5 1/3 innings, has a 3.37 ERA. 5 strikeouts, hasn't walked anyone, and only given up 4 hits. So been efficient when he's been on the mound for the Chinooks. Out of Medford, Oregon. He comes set from the chest. The 2-2 pitch. High breaker on that lower outside corner that has gotten so many minor hitters rung up today. This time, it's called a ball, and we have a full count with 1 out. Miners have runners on first and second in the bottom of the 7th. Score tied at 1. Winning run on second for the Miners. Danny Wright, left-hander, stands in. Kindrick kicks and deals and misses outside for ball 4. Bases are loaded for Chugiak-Eagle. And if you remember correctly, Chugiak-Eagle hitting the home run for a 3-run shot back in the first game came up big, looking to do the same right now, Connor.
Absolutely. And, at times I wish we had more than one camera, or at least a cameraman, because we could position it right down the right field line and look at the Miners bullpen. They have traffic cones on their head, and somebody has a construction helmet on down there. It's something new every day for the Miners as they try to rally here.
And the first pitch into Quiggle is swung on and missed. So 1 strike now. And we'll have to mention Josh Haley now with half of the team's hats on forwards and half of them on backwards. He did this on Saturday night when the 12th inning approached, and the Miners scored 5. So there must be some luck to it. The Chinooks infield is in. Same with their outfield. Quiggle asked for time as Kindrick was taking a while. We're tied at 1, bottom of the 7th. Final inning. Only playing 7 in this game. Kindrick comes set. Every pitch is crucial. The 0-1. Big breaker misses outside. Tied up at 1. And he can't walk Quiggle. If he does so, the Miners win the ball game. So this is tough pitching. And you got to think it's a little easier on Quiggle. So righty on lefty matchup. Kindrick comes set. The 1-1. Kicks and fires. Misses on a fastball away. 2-1. So Quiggle will gladly take those for a walk as Kindrick takes his cap off behind the mound and wipes off some sweat. He has to be sweating. Real sweaty palms, I would imagine. That sun is shining over Hermon Brothers Field in Palmer. Miners faithful. Excited. The 2-1 with one down. The pitch. Fouled straight back over the press box. Counts tied at 2. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. The Miners looking to sweep today's doubleheader and move above 500 for the first time in a bit, as they're at 6-6 right now. Looking to close in on the Oilers, who are at 9-4. Miners sit 2.5 games back and are on a two-game win streak. Looking to make a 2-game win streak today and move that win streak to 3 overall. Kindrick comes set, the 2-2 to Quiggle. Kicks and deals. Quiggle swings through for strike 3. The Miners have 2 outs, so they do have one more opportunity.
Now hitting, young shortstop, number 2,
With Drew Swift standing in, the right-handed hitting shortstop out of Arizona State. That's 7 total strikeouts now for the Chinooks. First for Kindrick. 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 7th. Winning run is standing on third in Austin Pianarini. So Kindrick comes set. Chinooks defense goes back. The infield goes back to normal position. Outfield is still in, and nice block there by Fullerton. If that got by him, that'd have been game over. Nevertheless, it's ball 1, so Swift has the count on 1-0. Kindrick's been working into the stretch ever since he came into this game. Walked one aboard. That walked them loaded. The 1-0. Swift lines one high into right side of the field for a foul ball, however. So Swift saw one just a tad bit too late to tie up the count on 1. That had the Miners fans excited, as it's MEA Kids Day here, so a lot of youth cheering on the Miners.
Kids get to experience what a big game this is.
Tied up at 1. Kindrick comes set. Kicks the pitch. Big breaker. Drops in for strike 2. That was near a 12-6. If anything, at least a 10-6 dropper. So the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. We're tied at 1. Drew Swift looking to walk it off. The 1-2 pitch. Another big breaker that locks Swift up, and fist bumping as he walks off the mound is Honus Kindrick, who came in with 1 down in the winning run on second. But the Miners get set down on strikes to end the inning. Drew Swift. We're still tied at 1, and we have free baseball once again. Another game 2 that goes into extras for the Miners. We'll have it all for you here on Matsu Miners Radio. Free baseball here at Hermon Brothers Field for game 2, and it seems like so many times this season we've had extra innings in game 2 of a doubleheader for the Miners. And another new pitcher for the Miners is Bryce Tassin. Tassin, this is his 5th appearance. Has pitched 5 innings, given up 5 hits, 3 runs. 2 of those have been earned. Walked 2, struck out 6. Has 2 saves to his resume. And piling up for a 3.60 ERA. Tassin, the last time he appeared for the Miners was back on Saturday in game 1, in which he gave up the game-winning base hit to the Bucks' J.C. Correa, which was another tough loss for the Miners. Nevertheless, looks to do quite the opposite against the Chinooks. He'll face Largusa, Harper, and Bollinger to start this 8th inning. Tassin winds and delivers a strike on the inside corner for strike 1.
You have to have thick skin when you're a late inning reliever. You know, sometimes you're going to give up runs. They're going to be game-winning runs. But you have to come back the next day and keep on dealing.
In the 0-2, rises in and actually hits Largusa, but he was swinging, hit the bottom of the bat. So now Tassin's ahead in the count 0-2. He relieves Malachi Emmon, who pitched 1 inning, and per the usual, 3 up, 3 down. Seems to be Emmon's mantra as Tassin misses just high. Emmon, another great outing of work, as the Miners do have another man up in the pen. So Tassin's 1-2. Big breaker that has Largusa swinging early for out number 1 of this 8th inning.
Now batting, second baseman number 31.
That's Tassin's first strikeout. Team 6th for out number 1. And the Miners coming into this game with 84 team strikeouts, so they're up to 90, 10 away from 100. Tassin's first pitch to Thomas Harper is inside and in the dirt for ball 1. Harper, the left-handed hitting second baseman, was the only run to come around and score for the Chinooks. So he reached on a base hit back in the 6th inning. And Tassin's 1-0, misses low. Harper's 1 for 2 on the day. Came in 1 for 11, so he's already tied. Amount of hits he already had. Rather doubled now his overall total. Tassin's 2-0. Nice pitch on the inner edge. Move the count to 2-1. So the Chinooks, after winning 3 of 4, have now lost 1, looking to get back in their winning ways. And Harper, just out of the diving Swift, gets into left field for a 1-out base hit. Thomas Harper now had 1 hit coming into this game, now has 2 in this game alone.
Now batting center
Seems
fielder
like
Seth Ballinger.
Harper's having himself a day, so now the Chinooks have the go-ahead run on first. They're first in stolen bases, so Pinarini will have to be careful behind the plate. And Tassin's going to have to be keeping close watch on first. His first pitch into Bollinger is bounced over to second. The throw to short for 1. Toss over to first for the 2nd out. And the 3rd out of the inning. So a 4-6-3 double play to end the top half of the 8th inning. Starting pitcher Josh Haley meeting them all for high fives. The Miners look to win this one in the bottom of the 8th. We're tied at 1. Keep it here. Should be an exciting finish on Matsu Miner Radio. Miners now with their second opportunity to walk off in this game 2 of the doubleheader. Miners winning game 1, looking to sweep today, and they'll do it with the heart of their order, 3, 4, and 5 hitters. It's been probably the more dangerous part of the Miners lineup. Henson and Jump, that 3-4 punch has been pretty dangerous all season long. So Henson stands in. Kindrick's still on the mound. Remember, he came in huge relief, actually worked his way into a bases-loaded jam last inning, then worked out of it. Kids Henson half-heartedly check swinging for strike 1. Henson shaking his head, said, yep, definitely went. Looks to regroup as he steps in, taps the plate a few times. Righty-on-righty matchup to start the bottom half of the 8th inning. Kindrick tries another big breaker. This time misses on the outer edge.
That's a healthy curveball from Kindrick. You know, it's got great curve, great bend.
So
really working.
Kindrick comes set. His 1-1 pitch nails the upper half of the plate. Henson leans back in disbelief. Not too much argument, just quick chatter asking, where was that at? So counts at 1-2. Kindrick kicks and delivers. Big curveball. Henson bounces it over to third. Wharton makes the routine play for out number 1. So Bubba is set down, and that brings up the right fielder Hunter Jump.
Number 14.
Jump is 1 for 3 today. Grounded out into a double play in his last at-bat. Singled back in the 2nd inning in some jump chants from the crowd. As we got a packed house here at Hermon Brothers Field, and they want to see a win on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Tied up at 1, bottom of the 8th. Kindrick's pitch misses high and away. So Hunter Jump, 8 RBIs, now up to 3 runs scored. He's the only Miners run to come across tonight. Kindrick from the chest hits that outside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. Miners looking to go above 500. As Jump swings through for strike number 2. Looking to go above 500 for the first time since the 10th of June. So 9 days since the Miners have been above 500. And Jump looks at another ball on the outside. That one was close, but not close enough. Counts tied up at 2. Hunter Jump trying to deliver big for the Miners. And this has been a pitcher's duel as Kindrick's 2-2 is swung on and missed from Jump. Kind of the half-hearted check swing was in the dirt, so Fullerton tags him out for out number 1. This has been a pitcher's duel all day long. It's odd, or ironic, I should say, because these are the top 2 average hitting teams. So these 2 teams have the highest batting averages in the ABL comp.
Yeah, very good hitting teams here today. And, well, the pitching has really been dominant. Pitching took over the storyline.
So Tyler Bozetti stands in. He is 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts, but 1 swing of the bat could end it. He looks at a ball low and in, kind of hops back. Counts at 1-0. We're tied at 1. Teams are also tied in the hitting department as well at 4. So Kindrick comes set. He's always pitching from the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Bozetti fouls it straight back. Bozetti has hit a few over in batting practice. Definitely has the pop to send one out. Preferably, you want to hit it over to that right side of the field. That's where that wind really takes it. With the righty hitter, that's tough to do. Another nice breaker from Kindrick. He has that working today. Honus Kindrick, that is. And the Chinooks came into today with the 4th best ERA, 3.89. That'll clearly improve unless the Miners score more than 1 win the game. As Bozetti looks at a 1-2 high. So the Miners already sitting atop, looking to pull that 2.5 game back standing to the Oilers a little closer. Win today. As Bozzetti has now worked the count full with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. He's obviously the winning run. If he could reach, that would be huge. Just to give the Miners a chance to win this game. Outfield's still playing a little in for the Chinooks. The 3-2 to Bozzetti's fouled straight back. So it wasn't that bad for Tyler Bozzetti. After falling behind 1-2, has now worked it all the way back to a full count. Bozzetti with the stirrups. Tyler Bozzetti's uncle actually played for the Phillies. That it's a great inspiration for him. Wants to make it there someday. 3-2 with 2 down to Bozzetti. Fouled back once again. Tyler Bozzetti not giving in to Honus Kindrick. You got to wonder if Kindrick's going to come at him with another curveball.
Well, 7 pitches in already. Very good at bat from Bozzetti. We'll find out.
The payoff pitch to Bozzetti almost hits him for ball 4. So the Miners back to back innings really have the winning run on. It was technically the go-ahead run in the 6th, but now in the 7th and 8th, it's the winning run. That's going to be the 4th walk of the day for the Chinooks as a team. 3rd walk from Kindrick. So 2 down, David Avitia stands in the designated hitter. He's 1 for 3 today. So righty on righty matchup. Winning run on first. Pitch into Avitia. He has to hop back out of the way of it. It misses inside, 1-0. Bozzetti, you have to watch out. He has speed over there on first as well. Only 1 stolen base, but definitely capable of snagging a base. He kind of has an aggressive lead. Dives back. Kindrick checks him out over at first.
Well, you know what's on his mind. If he gets to second base, base hit could win it.
And the Miners are tied for 3rd in stolen bases, only with 13. However, they've only been caught once. Kindrick checks over at Bozzetti. The Miners are also 2nd in the ABL in runs with 50. They have 3 more than the Chinooks, who have 47. Miners also only 2nd in giving up, 42. And now they're tied for 3rd with home runs as Quiggle hit a home run back in the first game. We have a 1-0 count, tied at 1, bottom of the 8th. Miners have the winning run on first. Kindrick from torso gets Avitia to check swing foul it off over to the right side. We're tied up at 1. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Only we're scheduled 7, but seems like in these doubleheaders, the Miners love to extend it. Played 12 on Saturday. So Kindrick comes set, his pitch. Big breaker. Avitia did a nice job of waiting on it and then fouling it straight back.
Well, he got the bat on the plane of the ball. Ball's coming in, it's curving down, so he has to swing a little bit up. He met the ball where it was thrown and, just fouled it back.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Avitia standing in, facing Kindrick. Checks back over at Bozzetti, dives back in time. And with 2 strikes for Avitia, you got to think if Bozzetti's going to go, it's going to be a bit delayed, I would imagine, and be more of a hit-and-run situation. But he does have a nice 3-step lead off. Kindrick's 1-2, kicks and fires. Avitia swings through. Kindrick gets out of another inning. And we're still tied at 1. We'll head into the 2nd inning of extras when we come back on Matsu Minor Radio. Second inning of free baseball here at Hermon Brothers Field in Palmer. Game number 2 today's doubleheader was scheduled 7, but here we are in the top half of the 9th inning. Yet another new pitcher for the Miners as they're definitely looking for the win. And with 2 days off, all pitchers should be rested. Relief pitchers, that is. Noah Cordova stands in. He relieves Bryce Tasson, who went 1 inning and went 3 up, 3 down. Allowed a hit, but then got into a double play. This is Cordova's 4th appearance. He's started 1 game, total of 7 innings pitched, given up 3 runs, 2 of those earned, only 3 hits, walked 8, and has struck out 4. Cordova in for a strike against Bailey Collins. The 0-1 from Cordova misses high and away, ties up the count on 1. Collins is 0 for 3 today. He was 0 for 3 back in game 1 as well, but he did have a walk as Collins towers one into the left side of the infield. Underrated shortstop Drew Swift for out number 1.
Yep, we talked to Cordova after his outing on the doubleheader on Saturday, and he said he felt pretty good. You know, he was able to repeat his mechanics. You know, his arm was feeling fine, no problems. So he's really doing well right now health-wise, which is great to see and showing on the mound.
As he dishes up a fastball on that outside corner to Luke Vandover. And Cordova was a guy that had a windup, but now since he's coming in for relief for the Miners, has come up from the stretch. As Vandover pops one into center field, ranging over to his left is Chugiak-Eagle for out number 2. So far, 2 up, 2 down pretty quickly for Noah Cordova. It's only taken 5 pitches. And the Miners, with nobody up in the pen, I'm sure would like to, if it happens to go to the 10th inning, would probably want another inning out of Cordova. So that way that we don't have to go through another guy, as we do have a game tomorrow night against the Bucks in Anchorage. Cordova delivers a strike into Jordan Wharton. Wharton, who was on fire coming into today, is 0 for 3. Actually, hasn't had a hit all day. Game 1 went 0 for 2. Did he go? He did. Strike 2 with 2 outs. Noah Cordova trying to send this thing in the bottom of the 9th. Still tied up. Gets his side. Comes set. Chest high. Kicks and delivers. A breaker. Grounding over to the left side. Ranging over to his right. And making the out is Drew Swift. So 3 up, 3 down. The Miners relievers have been dominant tonight. And the Miners will once again look to walk it off and sweep today's doubleheader against the Chinooks when we come back on Matsu Miner Radio. Miners looking to walk it off for the 3rd straight inning. Or rather, this is the 3rd straight inning. They're looking to walk it off. And they'll still face Honus Keinrich. Keinrich's longest outing of the season's 4 innings. So this will, if he gets through this, will be his 3rd. Already through 2. Doing pretty unscathed so far, only allowing 2 runners. 4 runners on. So bottom 3 due up for the Miners: Pinarini, Denning, and Wright. Rather, it seems like we have a pinch hitter on deck circle. Nevertheless, the righty Kindrick faces the lefty Pinarini. Pinarini skies one behind home plate. It will drop just in front of us here on the press box. There is netting.
Nice soft landing for the foul ball.
Yeah. So Pinarini fouls off. He's down on the count 0-1. Pinarini having himself a day. He's 2 for 2. Sac fly for an RBI back in the 2nd inning. And then the 3rd and 7th inning, 4th and 7th, getting a hit. He's down the count 0-1. He delivered late in the game back on Saturday. This time, launches one in the air just behind home plate to the left. And this time, with more than enough room, is Fullerton underneath of it for out number 1. But with 1 down, that brings up pinch hitter Aaron Walters. And as he's walking out, talks to Pinarini. Pinarini has to know a lot. He's a catcher, so he's going to know what a pitcher's doing.
Texas and Texas A&M, number 15, Aaron Walters.
And Walters kind of dabbles a little bit in catching too. Catch, first base, wherever the Miners have needed him so far.
And Walters actually played back in game 1. He went 1 for 2, had an RBI, has that power to send one over right field. So righty on lefty matchup, the first pitch to Walters misses high. So if Kindrick misses anywhere to Walters and give him a chance, he can definitely send it out, as that wind is blowing ever so slightly to right field. I already saw one go out from the lefty Quiggle in game 1. 1-0 into Walters, hits that lower outside corner. Tied up at 1. 1 out. Score is tied at 1. Again, here in game 2 of a doubleheader for the Miners.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
The 1-1 barely misses outside. We're sitting at 2-1. This time it's against the Chinooks. Walters he did have a home run this past spring for A&M. Looking for his first as a Miner. And Kindrick misses outside 3-1. So Walters can either look, or if he is swinging, I'm sure it's at his perfect pitch. If he gets it, watch out where that ball goes. The 3-1 kicks and fires, gets Walters to swing through. He must have liked it. He was just off the mark, however. Walters out of Kerrville, Texas, and plays college ball at Texas A&M with also minor teammate Asa Lacey. Both finished up their freshman season. Nevertheless, the count is full to Walters. He fouls it off over to the left side. So we'll stay full. And Kindrick, this is now his 3rd inning of work. You got to imagine his life as a reliever right now has got to be on the mound, and this game's coming closer and closer to an edge. The full count pitch to Walters. Gets the jam job high over to the right side, and running into each other are the shortstop and second baseman, Ozunia and Harper. Harper did make the grab, but I got to say I'm a bit confused on why Ozunia was all the way over there, because that was only a few steps over and behind for Harper. Nevertheless, it was out number 2.
Well, usually if a shortstop can go over and get the ball and he makes a call, he's the general of the infield. Just like if the center fielder makes a call, he calls off everybody else. Shortstop plays that role. But again, it was on the other side of second base, so that was a second baseman's ball.
So with 2 outs, Danny Wright stands in. The switch hitting now left fielder. He looks at a ball low and away for 1-0. And then smacks one high in the air. Left foul ground, spinting on his horse is Largusa, who ends up sliding under it for out number 3. So Danny Wright flies out into foul ground. And let's hit into double-digit innings once again in a game 2. Now 2 out of the past 3 games, the Miners have gone into double-digit innings. We'll see what they can do as we're tied up at 1. We head into the 10th on Matsu Minor Radio. free baseball for these Miners fans, and they're absolutely loving it. It's still pretty much all, if not pretty much most, if not all, still in attendance here in Palmer. Over 830 strong tonight. Great crowd on a great evening. Sun's shining in. Can't ask for much more for baseball. We're in the top of the 10th, tied at 1 in this game 2 of the doubleheader. Cordova delivers a pitch on the upper half for a strike to Danny Dopp. Dopp's 0 for 3 today. As he lines one hard, one hopper. Bozetti, nice play backing up, and then the throw over to first is just off the mark, but helping him out is Spencer Henson with the tag. Out number 1, an exciting out number 1 for the Miners.
Well, what a play from Bozetti. Got off kilter a little bit as he had to kind of go down to one hand to make that play as the ball was bouncing up high. So a little errant throw, but also a great job from Henson. Having the awareness to come off the bag, and he knows where the runner was to make the tag.
1 out now in the 10th as Ozunia looks to bunt. Bunts it foul over to the right side. And Bozetti has said he's looked at so many hits that have just barely bounced over the bag when he thought they were foul. He said, now anytime it's even close, I'm laying out for it. And he did so right there. And that time it worked as he gets the out. Cordova's 0-1, misses high and in to Ozunia. Ozunia 2 for 3 in game 1. Not doing so hot in game 2, 0 for 3. Outside with 1 ball, 1 strike. Cordova kicks and fires. In there for strike 2. Nice breaking pitch. Counts move to 1-2. There is some action warming up in the Miners' pen, like the right-hander Sean Hughes, starting off with some catch. Cordova fires the 1-2, lined just over Drew Swift's head into left field. So the Chinooks get the go-ahead run on first for the second time in 3 innings. They did so back in the 8th inning. And it also worked out in the Miners' favor. They got a double play to end it on the next batter, so they'll look to do a very similar thing right now as J. Paul Fullerton stands in, left-hander hitting catcher. Righty on lefty matchup, only 1 down at the top of the 10th. Cordova just misses outside for ball 1. Cordova, who in his first few appearances sort of struggled with the walks and command, has definitely found back a rhythm and gotten back into his own as he checks back over to first. Now delivering strikes and has definitely been on a roll in his past few appearances. Tall right-hander out of Chandler Gilbert Community College, Arizona. Fullerton hits one high, slicing foul, and trying to make the play all the way over from short is Drew Swift, and it bounces off of his glove and drops foul. So a tough spot. You had the left fielder Walters ranging in. Bozetti sort of on his way back. But ultimately, Swift called everybody off. So he had the best angle, but just couldn't make the catch.
No, his momentum's taking him one way. He kind of overran the ball in foul territory. Took a long way to get there. So a tough play for him to make, and just to be there in that spot was great hustle.
And he's so fast. Maybe he just didn't underestimated his speed. Nevertheless, the counts at 1-1. And Fullerton just called time before Cordova's pitch was delivered. So we're still at a 1-1 count with only 1 down. Cordova checks over at first. Cordova, actually, back in high school, was a state champ with Mesquite High School back in 2015. As he is a Gilbert, Arizona native. Checks back over at first, and Ozunia heading back to first kind of awkwardly steps on the bag. Middle infield playing double play depth as Swift's a little more over to the right than usual. Ozunia's on the move. The pitch out, the throw down from Pinarini on time, and the tag is there. Excellent play for the Miners. They had that one drawn out like X-ray vision, knew the steal was coming. Cordova pitched out. Pinarini threw down, was right where Wright's glove was, and Wright places the tag perfectly on Ozunia's leg. So the Miners with 2 outs now in the top of the 10th inning.
Great throw from Pinarini.
As Fullerton flies one foul over to the left side. So the count's tied up at 2 after the pitch out. And then fouling one off, still 2 strikes. So now the winning run, or the go-ahead runs back to the plate, and Fullerton gets under one on his horse ranging in, but can't quite make it there. He'll get it on the hop as jump. So the Chinooks get caught stealing, but then they replace that with a base hit for J. Paul Fullerton. And Jump looked like he was going to try to make the diving catch, but Chugiak-Eagle wasn't quite there for the backup. So Jump probably with the smart decision to just let it drop in front of him and only allow a base hit. So Cordova, after setting 3 in a row down in the top of the 9th, is now giving up 2 hits in the 10th. 2 outs, however, because Ozuna was caught stealing. Cordova from the wind in there for a strike. We're tied at 1 in the top of the 10th. We're only supposed to go 7, but here we are in the 10th. Cordova heading the count 0-1 against Jaron Largusa. Largusa did not play in game 1. Cordova misses blown away. Largusa, last time he played, June 18th versus the Bucks, went 0-2. And today, 0-3. So 1-1's the count. Cordova kicks and pitches. Nice breaker to get Largusa to swing through. He's ahead in the count, 1-2. And that Miners faithful starting to let their voices be heard. Still a lot in attendance. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening in Palmer, Alaska, in the Mat-Su Valley. Cordova comes set, chest high, kicks and fires. Largusa lines one over to the right side, foul. Count stays at 1-2. Outfield, normal depth. And infield, Swift a little over near the bag at second, but really other than that, all positions are in their default spots. Cordova looks in, kicks the 1-2 pitch, misses low. Nice block from Austin Pinarini. As Fullerton still stands on first, he would be the go-ahead run for the Chinooks. We're still tied up at 1. What has been truly a pitcher's battle, much like it was Saturday night. Cordova comes set, looks in, kicks and deals. Gets Largusa, foul it straight into that Chinooks dugout fence over on the left side. So all of them are hanging out right near that fence, trying to cheer on, get their guys around. But this Miners defense and Cordova on the mound looking to do otherwise. As this group's becoming more and more of a tight-knit squad looking for that 3rd straight title. Cordova's 2-2. Fouled left once again. The Chinooks only 1 win on the road, I should say, 1-5. And then on the flip side at home, they're 4-1. Whereas the Miners, it's 4-3 at home, 2-3 on the road, so not too much of a difference. Have a chance to come 500 on the road against the Bucks. And improve it really as they have 3 straight road games in 4 days coming up. So Cordova, 2-2, is in the dirt. Did he go? He did not. Largusa held up and works the count full with 2 outs. We're going to see time as Drew Swift wants to talk to his pitcher.
We've seen it multiple times. Swift taking that leadership role, coming out, talking to the pitchers, calming them down, and usually a good result follows.
As this has been an 11-pitch at-bat. Cordova is trying to retire Largusa to give his team the opportunity to walk off with only 1 run. Tied at 1, and Cordova checks back over at first. We're tied at 1 in the top of the 10th. 3rd extra inning, only supposed to play 7. Miners looking to sweep today's doubleheader and move closer to first. They trail the 9-4 Oilers by 2.5 games. Cordova's payoff pitch, man on the move. That one is skied high into left field. Does it have the distance? Walters camped under at the wall and makes the grab. Woo, that one was close, but Aaron Walters tracks it down and at the wall makes the catch. So the Miners are still tied up with the Chinooks at 1. And can they walk it off in the bottom of the 10th? Come back on Matsu Miners Radio to find out. Welcome back into Hermon Brothers Field for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. We're in the bottom half of the 10th inning, tied up at 1. And the Miners, top of their order, do up 1-2-3. Can't ask for much more, especially when all you need is one run to win this game. So Chugiak-Eagle stands in. 0 for 3 today, has reached once back in the 3rd on a walk. Did smack a homer, however, back in Game 1. 3-run shot. Only needs 1. It would be a solo shot. Still on the mound is Honus Kendrick. He's gone 4 innings only once before in his few outings in his 3 outings. So in his 4th outing, looking at the time of his longest. Quiggle fouls it back. Counts at 0-1. And quite delay as there was some music played. Silence is back. And Kinder comes set. 0-1 to Quiggle. Misses high and away. Righty on lefty matchup to start this 10th inning. And the Miners, obviously, last time we saw them go this far deep was into the 12th inning Saturday night, which they had a 5-run explosion in the top of the 12th on the road. The 0-1 the 1-1 to Quiggle is lined into left, right into Largoose's glove. So Kendrick has 1 out for the Chinooks.
Your shortstop, number 2.
So that brings up Drew Swift, right-handed hitting shortstop, looking for that first hit today. 0 for 4 in Game 1, 0 for 3 currently. Did have a sac bunt back in the 3rd. It'd be a great time to do it for Drew Swift. Talented shortstop out of Arizona State. Big breaker hits Swift square in the back. And the game-winning run is on first. And I tell you what, Connor, if you're going to have any of the guys on the Miners roster on first to win a game, I'd pick Drew Swift.
Drew Swift, 9 out of 10 times. You want him on base. He's got the speed. He's smart on the base paths. And you know that we're going to be looking for a stolen base out of him within the next 2 at-bats.
And to follow him up is Henson and Jump. Haven't been too effective this game, but they definitely have it with them. Henson stands in. Swift at first. He'll be checked back. Swift with 6 stolen bases. You got to think that's going to be in the back of Kendrick's mind every single time he goes to pitch. He comes set, 1 out. Bottom of the 10th. Game-winning run on first for the Miners. Swift does not go. Lined right up the alley from Spencer Henson. So Swift will advance to second. Henson takes a nice light jog to first. And the Miners, with only 1 out, have the winning run in scoring position.
There's the RBI man himself, Hunter Jump. And we talked about how Jump, he was tied for 5th, probably moved up in the leaderboard since the first game. The stats need to be updated, but Jump top of the league in RBIs, and what an opportunity for him here to do it in the bottom of the 10th.
And he has 8. He's looking for 9. As I mentioned, has that home run power. The first pitch to jump misses low and away. He is a lefty, so if he can drive one into right field, it's got a good chance of heading out because of that wind that always seems to be blowing out there at Hermon Brothers. Already saw one in game 1 fly over from a lefty. This time jump stands in. Winning run on second. Kinder comes set. His 1-0 is skied into center field. Ranging a little back is Ballinger. Swift is going to tag. He's going to go. The throw in from Ballinger is just off the mark as Swift decides to hold up about 2 steps off the bag. So jump flies out, but not deep enough to advance any of the runners.
Now batting your third baseman, number 3, Tyler.
So the Miners have 2 outs. They've definitely been in this situation a few times. 2 outs with the winning run on. This time in scoring position. Brings up Tyler Bozetti. He scored the go-ahead run in the 12th on Saturday night after leading things off with a base hit. Got moved around to third, and then Brett Owen on the suicide squeeze had Bozetti, who dove in head first to home, well in time of the toss from pitcher to catcher. He has a short conversation with head coach Ben Taylor, as Kindrick also has a conversation on the mound with Fullerton. A lot of tactics here, a lot of tips, tricks, ideas, whatever. Anything the Miners will do now to walk off and sweep today's doubleheader. We're tied at 1, bottom of the 10th. Bozetti stands in. Winning run is on second. Outfield in for the Chinooks. Infield at normal depth. And Swift standing off second. Really not too aggressive of a lead. But as Kindrick was staring him back, and Harper, the second baseman, standing on second, he didn't move. Got to be careful. Swift out there. Has stolen third before. First pitch, Bozetti's in the dirt, and Swift is on the move. The throw down to third, not in time. So the game-winning run is on third for the Miners with 2 outs for Tyler Bozetti. And Connor, you had to imagine Swift was going to move on any chance that he had, and the ball being in the dirt, throwing out Swift's hard enough, let alone after blocking it, almost impossible. So Swift on third. He's the winning run with 2 outs. Henson's on first, but if Swift gets out, it wouldn't matter because that would end the inning. As we have a mound visit with Kindrick, who's looking for tied for his longest outing. 3 2/3. He's gone 4 before. So head skipper Ben Taylor meeting with Henson, who's on first. Swift on third, and the batter Bozetti, and first base coach Tyler LeBron. You think maybe they'll try a suicide squeeze with 2 outs here?
I doubt it, but you never know.
It's got to be in the conversation.
Absolutely. Anything's in the conversation, including stacking traffic cones from the Miners bullpen.
And I think that's going to be Hank Boyer, because if you remember on Saturday night, they stacked a bucket on his head. Literally,
I think he put it on his head.
Boyer could not see. So he would have missed it if we would have went go ahead in that inning.
It was the rally bucket.
Yeah, it didn't quite work. Josh Haley not wearing the hats. So maybe they've gone away from that tactic and now just trying to use the traffic cones. Someone does have a construction hat on. Nevertheless, 1-0 count. Game winning run on third for the Miners. The pitch into Bozetti. Misses low and away. And if you're the Chinooks, you also have to be thinking maybe walking Bozetti isn't quite a bad idea here. There is a base open on second. But nevertheless, there's 2 outs. As Kindrick comes set, he kicks and deals. Bozetti launches one in the air on the left side of the infield. Ozuna, a lot of pressure, had to catch it or else this game would have been over. He does for out number 3 of the inning. So we'll keep on moving on. Keep on keeping on as we move into the 11th inning. On Matsu Miners Radio, we're still tied at 1. 11th inning. That's right, you heard it. 11th inning. 12 Saturday night, 11 tonight on Tuesday. Luckily for the Miners, they had 2 days off after that 12-inning marathon. We do have a new pitcher on the mound in relief of Noah Cordova is 34, Sean Hughes, the right-hander out of Boston College. Hughes hasn't had a great start to his minor season. Through 4 appearances, 2 2/3 pitched, has allowed 6 hits and 5 earned runs. Does have 4 strikeouts, however. Is a power pitcher, so he'll look to step up big against the Chinooks and try to hold them scoreless again, give the Miners a chance to go ahead. As he gets a nice little tap on the glove from Bozetti, saying, we still believe in you, man. Ride or die, right? So that's going to bring up Harper. Harper, Ballinger, and Collins do up. Harper has been the man for the Chinooks tonight. He is 2 for 3. Scored the only run for him back in the 6th. Came in tonight 1 for 11. But having a nice game tonight as he swings through a first pitch fastball.
This is a moment for Hughes kind of to prove himself coming in. It's late in the ball game. 1 run could mean the difference, and he's had the roller coaster of the season.
Is 1-0. Nice fastball low. That's a tough pitch to hit. Harper just looked at it, and he's ahead in the count 0-2. Nobody out in this top of the 11th inning. Tied at 1. Hughes is 0-2. Just misses outside. Nice waste pitch. Only a few fans have wandered out of here at Hermon Brothers, as the Chinooks have someone up in the pen. Hughes' 1-2 pitch. Nice breaker. Over to Henson, who fields it. Tosses over to Hughes, who nice play off the mound for out number 1. So 1 down brings up the center fielder, Seth Ballinger. Ballinger today is 1 for 2 technically, as he singled back in the 3rd, had a sac bunt in the 6th, and then grounded out into a double play back in the 8th inning. As Hughes just misses low and away for ball 1. Hughes out of Williamsburg, Virginia. His senior year of high school. Got a record 4-1. And had a .94 ERA through 29 2/3 pitched. Ballinger fouls it off to the left side. We're tied at 1. He was one of those veteran guys on the Miners, trying to lead this team to a 3rd straight title. His first year as a Miner, but had just finished up his junior season at Boston College. Always works from the stretch. 1-1 count. Flied over to left and foul. So Hughes ahead in the count once again, 1-2. Looks to set down another Chinook batter. The Chinooks tonight, 5 hits on 1 run. They've only left 3 aboard, so that really their struggle is just getting people on. As Hughes with the big breaker just misses, low and away for ball 2. So we're tied at 2. So the Chinooks have left guys on in the 3rd, 6th, and last inning back in the 10th. So not a whole lot of opportunity for the Chinooks. As Hughes kicks and delivers, strike 3 on the outside corner for out number 2. So Sean Hughes with his first strikeout of the game. Gets Ballinger looking for out number 2, and that brings up right fielder Bailey Collins. That's the Miners' 7th strikeout on the night. I guess rather, the Chinooks have struck out 7 times tonight. Collins looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 4. He'll take a first pitch ball, low and away. Hughes really working that outside part of the plate. And that makes sense. If you miss outside, that's going to be somewhat impossible to hit. As now he hits the outside corner. Counts tied at 1. Lefty up in the Chinooks pen. Hughes is 1-1. Nice breaker that just misses. And Hughes is just in awe as he just sort of frozen on the mound. Asked, where is that? That was right on the money. Counts at 2 balls, 1 strike. Hughes kicks and fires. This one shot over to the left side. Foul. We're tied at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top of the 10th inning, tied at 1. So the Chinooks looking to rise to 500 again. As Hughes is 2-2, just misses on the outside corner. Chinooks looking to move to 500, 6-6. The Miners looking to jump above 500 to 7-6. As we have a full count, 2 down. The payoff pitch, broken bat high into right field. Coming in, making the can of corn catch is Hunter Jump. So Hughes comes in, sets down the Chinooks in order, and we'll see if the Miners can walk it off once again. On Matsu Miner Radio, tied at 1. Keep it here. Bottom half of the 11th inning here at Hermon Brothers Field in game number 2 of today's doubleheader. Only supposed to go 7, but for some reason the Miners just don't like that idea. Went 12 on Saturday. Have gone a 10.5 so far. So the Miners looking to end it in 11 here in the bottom half of the inning. We'll have a new pitcher, Cole Whitman, on. He's appeared in 3 games for the Chinooks with a 10.80 ERA. He's pitched 3 1/3, 3 strikeouts, 4 men walked, giving up 7 hits. Has a 10.80 ERA. And Whitman, his last appearance was actually yesterday against the Bucks, where he went 1/3, gave up a hit and a walk, facing 3. So he'll look to shut down the Miners. But the Miners have other ideas. Up for them is Vitia, Pinarini, and Walters. So Vitia leads things off, and as always, just needs one swing of the bat over the fence would end the game. Miner faithful, a little more rowdy now as they want the Miners to get one, or they travel into Anchorage tomorrow night. Miners looking for their 3rd win in a row and 4th in the past 6 games. Cole Whitman's a lefty, works out of the stretch, sort of a 3/4 motion. He misses high to Avitia. Avitia's 1 for 4 tonight, base hit in his first at-bat all the way back in the 2nd. Has struck it out twice since then. Grounded out once as well.
We've come a long distance since then, huh?
Have we ever? He looks at another ball outside. Dribbles just off Fullerton's glove. You can tell the eagerness for the Miners fans to get a walk-off. You hear a horn. You hear the claps.
I might even hear a kazoo.
As the 2-0 hits that inside corner. That's Whitman's first strike, 2-1. Whitman's out of UAB this past season, 11 appearances, gathered up an 0-3 record, 4.0 ERA through 18 innings pitched. So not a bad spring campaign. His 2-1 misses high to Avitia. Count sits at 3-1. And the Miners they scored 1 run the last time we played the Chinooks. Took us to the 9th inning to do so. Almost got no hit. This time with only 4 hits on the board tonight. And we're tied at 1. Hitters count to David Avitia. He's the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 10th. 11th, rather. As he looks at his strike. Barely nips that outside edge. Count is full. Bottom of the 11th, tied at 1. Miners looking for a walk-off. Not a lot of shenanigans so far going on in the bullpen. We'll keep you updated, though. Full count. Whitman comes set, kicks and deals. Avitia looks at it. He was questioning whether it was a strike or a ball. It was ball 4. He'll jog over to first. And once again, the Miners have their winning run on board. 5th walk of the game from given up by the Chinooks. The first for Whitman. And we'll see a pinch runner is Brett Owen. Brett Owen comes into pinch run. The quick infielder from Kansas State. Owen on the season, 2 stolen bags, hasn't been caught yet. But facing the lefty Whitman, going to be a bit difficult as a third baseman. Wharton is playing in against Pinarini. He looks at a strike on the upper half of the plate. Pinarini, I would imagine, has to be swinging. Nobody out. He's had a hot bat of late. He's 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. As he's down the count 0-1. Nobody out. Bottom of the 11th. Winning run on first for the Miners. Whitman takes a step off the rubber and fires over to first. Can't quite get Owen. Doesn't have too aggressive of a lead. Have to imagine it'd be tough for Owen to go, especially against a lefty. I'd hate for him to get picked off. Walters is on deck for the Miners. Whitman comes set. Long look at first. Now kicks and throws home. Big breaker, just misses. Counts tied at 1.
You know, going back to the Miners bullpen, it does look like it's a subtle change, but it looks like they're standing backwards, but they're wearing their jerseys backwards as well. So they're facing the outfield wall.
Whitman's 1-1 is fouled back by Pinarini.
But they have their hats on backwards, their pullovers on backwards, so it looks like they just have their hands in their back pocket as they're staring on the back wall. Other people are, of course, telling them what's going on.
And I think Josh Haley has gathered all of the equipment in the bullpen on his shoulders right now. Nevertheless, we're at a 1-2 count. Whitman versus Pinarini, lefty on lefty. Whitman checks back over to first. Whitman was a top 90 prospect nationally out of high school, as he led his team to a state championship senior year. He has a 1-2 count, tied at 1. Kicks and throws back over to first. He's really got Owen on his mind. But Owen, not too much of an aggressive lead. And with the speed he has, can't imagine he needs one. Especially if Pinarini can rip one out there. So Whitman comes set the pitch. Fouled back over to the left side. The Miners today have left 9 runners aboard. So they've definitely had their opportunities. Haven't quite capitalized. The second best batting average team in the ABL and the second best runs scored team. Sort of struggling today in Palmer. The 1-2 into Pinarini, misses low and away as we have a bird flying low just over the field. Hopefully we don't have a Randy Johnson-esque moment. That'd be quite devastating.
But quite cool at the same time.
Yeah, it would. Counts tied up at 2. Nobody out. Bottom of the 11th. Tied at 1. Miners looking to walk it off as the winning run's on first. Pitch to Pinarini. Misses low and away. He's worked it full. So after drawing a 1-2 count, he's worked away all the way back to a full count. Pinarini. Pinarini, the lefty, so trying to hit it out in that power alley in right field. Whitman comes set. Long look at first. He'll kick and throw over that way. Dugout helping out Owen. Yelling back, as I'm sure some of those lefties in the dugout are helping him out. Count sits at 3-2. Miners want to sweep this doubleheader. Whitman steps off the rubber and throws it to first. And you got to wonder if it's just in his head. He's thrown a two straight balls into Pinarini. You got to wonder if it's in his head that he doesn't really want to go home. So he's just kind of taking the nervousness out on the throws to first. Nevertheless, he deals this time, and Pinarini lines one over the head of the right fielder, Collins. Owen is on his horse around second. Ben Taylor is waving him home. We're going to have a play at the plate. The throw down to home is in time. Can Owen get out of it? He can't dive under it. So Owen's tagged out at home, as it was a nice relay from Collins into Harper and then into Fullerton for the out, as the whole entire Miners dugout was at home plate. But if you look at the bright side of the situation here, the Miners once again still have the winning run in scoring position. Now there's just one out to boot.
There is run in scoring position, like you said, and what it really was, Owen took a wide turn coming around third. You know, you're supposed to take that turn, but he was almost out of the base path as he was coming around. So it took him a little extra time to try to get back into home plate. So the wide turn kind of cost him a couple seconds, and that's when the ball came in. Out was the call, and there you got it.
Yeah, it was definitely, but when you have so much momentum, it's so hard to make that quick turn. Nevertheless, Ben Taylor was not holding him up. So Walters stands in. He pinch hit for Connor Denning back in the 9th inning. He flew out. He fouls the first pitch from Whitman off. So another lefty-on-lefty matchup. But Pinarini with the double. He stands on second. He's the winning run. Only one out for the Miners. So it was sort of heart-tugging to see Owen out. But they almost replace it. The only catch is they gave up an out. So Whitman checks second, then kicks and throws home. He misses high and away to Walters. And Walters is another dangerous guy to try to get out. Back in the first game, Walters went 1 for 2, had a RBI, reached twice actually. Right now he's sitting in a 1-1 count, one down, bottom of the 11th inning. We're tied at 1. Miners have the winning run on second. Whitman comes set and fouled back over the netting by Walters, so he's now down on the count 1-2. So a lot of tension right now, a lot of nervousness. One down, bottom of the 11th. 1-2 is the count to Walters. Whitman's pitch misses low and away for ball 2. And with first base open, you would have to imagine Whitman is not too worried about missing, as that would bring up Danny Wright, one of the leaders. He's up there in batting average for the ABL. Counts now work to 2-2. Walters stands in for the Miners. Made a nice catch out on the left. Pitch from Waltman is a big breaker, bends in for strike 3. Walters is froze up from it. So Whitman gets a big out. Big strikeout, that is, for out number 2.
Now batting, your second baseman, number 7, Danny.
So Miners still have another chance. 2 outs. Winning run is on second. And that's going to bring up Danny Wright. Now the Chinooks have 10 strikeouts as a team as well. So Danny Wright will bat lefty for the first time tonight, as he is a switch hitter. Playing second now, moved around a little bit as he came into pinch hit back in the 7th. Winning run on second. Whitman's first pitch to Wright. That hits him on the left elbow. That hits Danny Wright, so he'll advance to first as Whitman went too far inside. And instead of trying to maybe pitch around, or if it come to the point where he has to waste a pitch, now he has to pitch to Quiggle unless he wants to load the bases up.
Batting your center fielder, number 24,
Kona Quiggle. Last time he was up with a couple of men on. Or rather, last time he got a hit with a couple of men on, it was over the wall. 3-run blast. So this is a lefty-on-lefty matchup. 2 down, bottom of the 11th. We're tied at 1. Winning run for the Miners is out there in scoring position. First pitch. This is low and away to Quiggle.
And Quiggle, his last time up, he had a line drive, but right at the left fielder. So if he can just find a hole, he's got the line drive swing down, and that's what will do it.
1-0 to Quiggle. Is lined into center field. Will it get over the head of Bollinger? He's on his horse back. He will not get to it. Around third and scoring is Austin Pinarini, and Kona Quiggle is the man of the day. He walks it off in the bottom of the 11th inning. The Miners win 2-1 and sweep the Chinooks today 2-0. They have now won 3 in a row and are above 500 for the first time in 9 days. Their record is now moved to 7-6. So once again, Kona Quiggle with the walk-off as he's mauled out in the field. He is actually trying to run away from it, but he was caught out in right field, and his shirt has been taken off. So hopefully he finds it, unlike J.R. Smith after the Cavs won the title. Nevertheless, it's not that big of a moment. Nevertheless, it's a good win. It took the Miners 11 innings to do it, but they get a walk-off win in the bottom of the 11th. So following today's game coverage will be our post-game show with Hens skipper Ben Taylor and our Miners player of the game. And I would have to imagine Mr. Quiggle will be up here in the booth for that.
Absolutely. We'll be getting him after the game.
Nevertheless, for Brad Walker, or rather for Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker. The Miners walk it off and sweep today's doubleheader. They get 2 wins today. They'll improve to 7-6. The Chinooks will fall to 5-7. And the Miners, for one last time, walk it off. They win 2-1 over the Chinooks. And as always, it's been a pleasure.